All right, you guys, it's time for a very big award right now on our Rocket and Raygun Awards. Thank you so much for joining us. We are giving our award to the best Nintendo Switch game of 2019. They have had an incredible year. Every Nintendo Switch owner out there, but Nintendo themselves, they have just killed it this year. So this category is a very, very tough one to choose the winner for. I'm going to let the community give us some of their choices first, and then we'll come back with our nominations and our winner.
Best Nintendo Switch game of the year is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. It is by far one of the games I've sunk the most amount of time into this year. I think when they said they were doing a third Ultimate Alliance, they're like, well, how can you live up to the first and second installments of that franchise? And I think in a lot of ways they outclassed it here. They actually did better. The 4-player co-op on the Switch is so helpful. The ability to play online is so cool. The huge roster of characters. The fact that they continue to add to this game, whether it be costumes, whether it be heroes, whether it be modes. It's one of those few games, as busy as we are, the rare occasion in games, especially in 2019, where I beat it, then did the story again, then did the story again, and then kept grinding because it is just so satisfying to get your characters to level 100. And that was back then. Now I think the level cap's even higher than that. There's more content coming. The game just won't stop giving.
For my favorite Switch game of 2019, it was a tough decision, but I chose Luigi's Mansion 3, which builds off all the great things they did in the original GameCube game, but improved it in every way with new gimmicks, new ghosts, interesting levels for the hotel, and you can hear Luigi go, "Oh, Mario!
Mario! Oh, Mario!
Yeah. My pick for best Nintendo Switch game of the year is Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, I've been calling this the most Nintendo game that I've seen from Nintendo in a long time. And what I mean is, it feels like playing through the way a game used to look in an old game instruction manual. Those beautifully animated characters, that kind of sense of wonder that you could just do anything. And this is that sort of dream brought to life. Luigi can just destroy, mess with, suck up, and interact with every single little thing inside of this mansion. It's all animated and lit and shaded in incredible fashion, and there's just a lot of different verbs, meaning Luigi has all of these different little powers that he can use and combine to solve every little puzzle room in this game. So that already feels good by itself. Then you throw in Luigi, who you either send off into the wild as your extra helper or hand a controller to someone else to play with, and you just have this really lovely organic way to add more depth, whether you have a friend or you're just setting up different puzzle pieces by yourself.
The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Nintendo has upgraded the game with better visuals. I thought the new animations were great, and it was really cool that you can arrange your own chamber dungeons in it.
Fire Emblem Three Houses. Not only it's the same good Fire Emblem that I've been playing throughout the years, but it has some really awesome new mechanics like going through the school and talking to your students and helping building them up for combat has been incredibly addicting. As in 200 hours addicting. I've spent a lot of time on this game.
Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's just an amazing game. It throws you back into that world and with a little bit of added things, and it's just a really, really great game. I really enjoy playing it.
Pokemon Shield on Nintendo Switch is really brought a lot to the table when it comes to how you can build your team and challenge your friends and go on raids and fight bigger Pokemon with your friends. There's an open world. I can't tell you how many times I was playing this game and with my friend, and we kept saying to ourselves, this is the best Pokemon game ever. Everything about it was just mind-blowing and fun, and we're Pokemon fans for a long time, right? It brings a lot to Pokemon fans to really gnaw on and like eat away as like Pokemon Heart's desire. And I got to pick Pokemon Sword and Shield as my game of the year on Switch.
The best Nintendo Switch game of 2019 would have to be Super Mario Maker 2. They took everything that made Mario Maker 1 special, added more polish, added more gameplay styles and different level maps and all of that type of stuff, different looks to make sure that they're creating a game that has limitless potential to give me fun for decades to come. The Super Mario Brothers gameplay is as perfect as can be when it comes to 2D platforming, and having unlimited levels is something that I never thought Nintendo would give us the toolbox to be able to play with. But with Mario Maker 2, they really took it to the next level, and adding the new 3D world style, even though it's 2D, added such a different depth that I didn't expect them to go to.
All right, here are the nominees for the best Nintendo Switch game of 2019. Astral Chain, Luigi's Mansion 3, Yoshi's Crafted World, Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition, Fire Emblem Three Houses. They're all incredible games, and it's very hard for me to pick the one that is deserving of the Best Nintendo Switch Award. I think out of that list, I would say Astral Chain was the one that surprised me the most and is probably my personal favorite game to play. It is a wonderful treat from the fine folks at Platinum Games, who haven't really disappointed us with any of their titles in the past. This is such an incredible studio. And Astral Chain was, something that I wasn't expecting to love as much as I did. And I think that's why it resonated so much with me. I couldn't put it down. I just was really into the mechanics and the gameplay. It took almost everything I had to not grant this one the best Nintendo Switch game of the year, and I think you're going to understand why I'm giving the winner that crown in a second here. Luigi's Mansion 3, which is, I think, the masterwork that Next Level Games has put together for this year. They've been a great, competent developer that has built us lots of fun entertainment over the years. But Luigi's Mansion 3 is something else. It is so polished and so refined. It's a robust, massive experience that is just beautiful on Nintendo Switch hardware. I'm going to say Yoshi's Crafted World is probably the Nintendo Switch game of 2019 that got to me the most emotionally. It was a game that I was able to review with my daughter, and we played it together, and we both were completely blown away by the intelligence of the puzzles and the beauty and quality of the world that was crafted for us, no pun intended. The sense of fun and the sense of humor and the charming ways that you could go back and re-explore levels, and all of these different layers of challenge that were so expertly interwoven into this game. But it isn't our best Nintendo Switch game of the year. Fire Emblem Three Houses makes a lot of strong cases to be a contender in this category and several others. It is a massive strategy role-playing experience. But the game that I'm going to give the Best Nintendo Switch Game of 2019 award to is something that's a little bit strange because it came out in 2017 on another platform. It's Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition, and this was originally released on the PlayStation 4, and it was, I think, the strongest role-playing game on that platform in that year. It's massive. What's shocking about it is that Nintendo and Square Enix obviously took their time to build something that ran beautifully on Nintendo Switch hardware. You have, long draw distances. You don't have, any kind of frame rate hit. The music was tuned and polished, so it sounds better than the PlayStation 4 game. But then they also threw in a full 2D version of the game, so you could play it like it's an old 8-bit or 16-bit Dragon Quest game, and that's just over the top. It's just an unbelievable creation for Nintendo Switch, and it shows that with the right amount of talent and determination, this hardware, even though it definitely comes in at a lower spec than the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, it doesn't have to take a backseat to anybody. That's why it is getting our Nintendo Switch Game of the Year. That is just one of many categories that we're hitting in our Rocket and Raygun Awards this year, and we've created a separate video for every single category, so make sure you skim through all of those, watch all of those, let us know what you think. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of opinions of your own and lots to talk about with us, and that's totally cool. We'd like to know. Let us know in the comments below. Please watch all the videos, and thank you so much for watching this one.